Skiing can be an extreme sport, particularly when you venture off-piste. As a consequence, that can mean danger. So what gear do you need to stay safe? Well, the three pieces of kit that are an absolute must if you're skiing or snowboarding off-piste are the transceiver, the shovel and the probe. In fact, in some areas of Italy, it's illegal to go off-piste without them. Now, the transceiver is fairly simple. You turn it on and it's in transmit mode. You wear it under your jacket all day and in transmit mode. If you're unfortunate enough that one of your party is buried in an avalanche or you come across an avalanche, everyone on the surface has to change it to seek mode, or otherwise you'll find the people who are still stood on the surface. Now, if I step back, I've left that transceiver on. I switch this one into search mode. It's going to pick up that transceiver there, and it's giving me a distance and a direction to follow. Next step is to dig him out. Now, first thing you'll do is get your probes out. Probe the snow. This will tell you how far down you've got to dig to get to the person who's buried. Next step, you can get plastic shovels. You're much better off with aluminium ones. You can dig much, much faster. So shovel, very important piece of kit. Probably the next thing to put in is a first aid kit. Now, bog standard first aid kit, but there are a couple of things that I'd stick in just for the mountains. Not very high tech, but a candle. Now, I've spent the night in a snow hole and the candle was an absolute godsend. Second thing that I have in my pack on the first aid kit is super glue. It was actually invented by the US military for gluing skin. If you've got any small cuts on your hand, glue them together. Also, if you get dry or cracked fingers, just put the super glue around the dry and cracked fingers, doesn't hurt anymore. Thermal blanket, another thing if you get trapped overnight, this will save your life, definitely. And it's worth sticking in your pack. Finally, it's always good to have communication, to have a mobile phone with you. Most places in the Alps, even off-piste, top of Mont Blanc, you'll get mobile phone reception. But this phone isn't just an ordinary phone. This phone from Land Rover has an extra long battery life and will operate to temperatures of -20. It's waterproof, so you can leave it in the snow or even drop it in a mountain stream. Now, they've told me it will withstand a certain amount of pressure. I don't know if they're expecting me to do this though. Oh, and by the way, you can also drop it. Oh, I was really expecting to find it in pieces, but look at that, not a scratch. It really is the Rambo of mobile phones. Now, if you want to ramp up the adrenaline levels even higher, here's a few more bits of kit you might need. Skins to take you right out into the backcountry. These work by you glue them onto the underneath of your skis. They will slip forward, but they won't slip back. So effectively, you can walk uphill with your skis on. Crampons. If you're going anywhere where you're likely to need crampons, then you're probably going to need a harness and rope. For spending the night in a refuge, sleeping bag liner, another good bit of kit. And finally, there are two other products on the market that are specifically for avalanche safety. The first is the Avalung. Now, it says here on its information that someone who's buried, the average time for them to be dug out is 20 minutes, but your air supply is only 15 minutes. So most people will actually die of asphyxiation before they die of the cold. The Avalung works, you stick the snorkel in your mouth and it takes the CO2 that you're breathing out and puts it out of the back of the rucksack. But there is one product that's designed to stop you getting buried at all. It's called the ABS. Now, an avalanche works by rolling down the mountain, and if you're caught up in it and you're trying to swim to the surface, what will happen is you'll get pulled down and get buried, and then you might get thrown back up again. The idea of this is that it increases your buoyancy, so it keeps you on the surface of the avalanche. So when the avalanche comes and you know you're in a situation where you're not going to be able to outski it, you reach towards this lever and pull. These two bags inflate, keep you on top of the avalanche. There's your safety equipment. Let's hope you never have to use it.